The hub has worked beautifully from start to finish.
All right, folks. That was Kathleen Sebelius testifying today before the House, House Committee on Energy and Commerce. And joining us right now to talk about some of that testimony and weigh in on the budget deal as well is Congresswoman Renee Ellmers, Republican, North Carolina. Hello, Congresswoman.
Hi, good to be with you again.
Well,
yeah, that was a pretty amazing statement. I think even my Democrat colleagues in the House would disagree with that assessment of the hub.
Yeah, the hub has worked great from start to finish. I mean, this goes right up there with some of the other wacky statements that she's made in other testimony. It would be against the law for her to take Obamacare. Convicted felons could wind up looking at your most valuable secretive information, Social Security numbers and others. And, just right on down the line.
Well, I'll take it even further than that. The promises that the president made to us that you can keep your health care plan if you like it, you can keep your doctor if you want to keep your doctor. All of these things now are being proven to be, less than truthful, a little misleading, and obviously put forward to sell the idea to the American people.
She also, the new numbers came out, and they're about 1 million or 800,000 short of the goal on signups at this point. But then she was asked whether or not these people, actually have policies. Did they actually pay? And she refused to answer. So, the insurance company considers someone have signed up when they send in their payment. Then they have a policy. For all we know, out of the whatever number they're telling us, the hundreds of thousands of people that have signed up, we don't know how many have paid, if any have paid.
Oh, exactly, and even those who think that they may have paid online, or I'm not even sure how the payment is made. But the point is that no one really knows who actually has a policy right now and who does not, because very clearly she points out that if you haven't paid on your policy, you technically don't have one. So now we have a couple 100,000 individuals with health care coverage, but it's the same, or that think they have health care coverage, but yet we still have over 5 million that have had their health care plans canceled. This is not working, and I'm not sure at what point the administration and Kathleen Sebelius and others are gonna finally admit this. But boy, it would sure be a nice Christmas present to the American people, I think, especially when they've used so many times holidays to put forward a delay here or a delay there. I think it would be a great Christmas present for a year delay on Obamacare for the American people.
Yeah, well, a cancellation would be nice. Let me ask you, though, how bizarre, or I don't want to put words in your mouth, you categorize it, you classify it, now on December, whatever it is, December 11th. Today's the 11th or the 12th? It's the 11th. Yeah, okay. Now she wants an investigation. Now she posted that she wants the department's inspector general to investigate the contracting process, management and performance and payment of the entire Obamacare fiasco. What is that?
Well, you know what, that was to buy her cover for today's hearing, essentially, I believe. That information came out. But where have these people been for 3.5 years? For 3.5 years, we have heard how this plan, Obamacare, was going to be the best thing for the American people that any of us could ever imagine. It has been a complete and total failure, and now she's just deciding that, oh gosh, maybe we better go back and look at what happened. Seriously, I don't even know how much more the American people can take. They have been so disappointing on so many levels that this is just another continuation. And it's a little too late, I think. We know it was a mess up. And someone's got to take responsibility. Isn't that why you do an investigation? I mean, someone has to take responsibility. She's top of the HHS.
Well, we're talking to Congresswoman Renee Ellmers, member of the House Committee on Energy and Commerce here on the Steve Malzberg Show. You know that the president and Kathleen Sebelius haven't met in about 3 years on one, and they've only met once since the passage of Obamacare.
Well, now, during that question was brought up in the subcommittee hearing as well by one of my colleagues, and her answer was, the direct question was, how many times have you met with the president? Her answer was a lot. That was her answer. And she wouldn't obviously commit to a number. You know, this is ridiculous. Obviously, you've heard from, you know, the press secretary, Carney, that, you know, we don't have log information on her meeting with the press.
They have other cabinet members' information, though, but they don't have hers.
You know, if the White House and the administration and those who have put Obamacare together were a business, it would have gone out of business a long time ago, because there's no accountability, there's no responsibility, and it just simply would not, you know, be able to function. I mean, this is crazy. So
sum up in just a couple of words. I mean, today's hearing, what'd you get out of her? How'd she perform?
You know, I think she was adequate in the sense that I still have more questions that I had going in. She made it through the subcommittee hearing, but her credibility is to me just completely ruined at this point. And you know, although she got through the hearing, there were no reassurances to the American people.
Let me ask you about the budget. John Boehner had this to say to conservative critics of the proposed budget deal. Give a listen.
You mean the groups that came out and opposed it before they ever saw?
Those groups. Are you worried that
they're using our members and they're using the American people for their own goals? This is ridiculous.
Where do you weigh in on the budget as you know it to be at this point?
Well, my staff and I are still looking at the budget. I take this very, very seriously, and I want to make sure I make the right choices for my district and for the American people as a whole. I think that they have worked very, very hard on this issue. It's not one that, you know, that we can say is necessarily, we certainly didn't get everything we wanted in it, but it's a starting point, and we will actually have a federal budget if it passes, which is something we haven't had in 5 years. Big accomplishment on that part. You know, and I agree with the speaker. You know, these outside groups, they came out against this budget before it was even announced. That's a very strong message, and we have to make sure that we are responsible to our constituents, not outside interest groups that raise money.
All right, Congresswoman, a pleasure to talk to you. Look forward to speaking to you again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good to be with you again.
My pleasure. Congresswoman Renee Ellmers, a Republican, North Carolina, here on the Steve Malzberg Show. Very, very interesting. When we come back, another man who hasn't weighed in yet. He'll be weighing in for the first time. A man named Grover Norquist will be here, President of Americans for Tax Reform, on the Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax TV and radio.